Let's Talk Bowling with Andrew Frawley.
Let's go!
Today's session begins with bowling basics.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Welcome to the Lanes and Let's Talk Bowling. You know, bowling's a great game and can be a lot of fun. We're going to give you a few hints so you can knock over as many pins as possible. First of all, let's go through the basics so we can get ready to play. Alright, first of all, bowling shoes. You must wear bowling shoes when you play bowling. They're designed to slide on the leather sole and then stop with the rubber heel. You can't wear your regular shoes. If you do that, you'll stick, you fly in the air, fall down the lane, you're going to look pretty silly. First of all, the fit of the bowling ball. When you go up to the rack to find a ball, the number one thing you should check for is your thumb. It's going to fit in the ball, nice and snug, but you can still turn the thumb around in the ball. You can still grip onto it nice. We use our two middle fingers to hold onto the ball with the thumb. So our Tenpin bowling grip is two middle fingers and thumb. And you can see that. That's the best way to knock over the pins. As far as the weight of the ball goes, the balls are normally marked on the racks. I've got a 14-pound ball. If you're in primary school, you can start with an 8-pounder or a 10-pounder. If you're a high school student, have a look at the 10s to 12s. And if you're a little older, have a look at the 14-pound balls. Let's go through just a couple of basic rules and etiquette. The number one thing is, if you've got your mate either side of you ready to bowl, let them go and play, and then you can take your shot, so we don't have two people side by side going up and playing at the same time. It can get a little nasty out there. And the second one is when the ball comes out, keep your hands well clear of the ball return area, and when you pick the ball up, pick it up from the sides so you don't get the ball banging into your hand with the other balls. And finally, it's the foul line. You're not to go over the black line where an approach and the lane join. Every bowling centre in the world has a foul line, and it's always a thick black line. It's where the approach meets the lane. The reason why we don't go over the foul line is that the lanes are oiled. If you cross the foul line, there's a big chance you're going to slip over, hurt yourself. The other thing is that you're going to bring some oil back on the approach, and the bowling centre isn't going to be very happy about that. If you do cross the foul line, it's always a 0 score, so remember that.
So let's look at those bowling basics one more time. You'll need bowling shoes so you can slide and grip. Choose a bowling ball with the right fit, the right weight, and use your two middle fingers to get the right grip. Be aware of the bowler on your right. If they're about to bowl, wait for them before you go. Be careful of your fingers at the ball return. Pick up your ball in two hands so you're less likely to drop it. And don't cross the foul line.
Now let's get the basics on how we're going to learn to bowl. The best way to do that is to learn the 4-step approach. So what we want to do now is work out whereabouts on the approach we're going to start from, so we can take our 4 steps and not slide over the foul line. We've got Chris here. He's going to show us how it's done. Chris is a right-handed bowler. He's going to start with his right foot, take 4 regular walking steps plus a half step. That'll count for the slide, and that's going to be his starting position at the approach. All right, Chris, start off for us. And just a half step, that's it for your slide. Now if you turn around, Chris is going to be starting just behind the first set of dots on the approach. Now talking about the dots, these dots are every 5 boards and they line up with the arrows down the lane. So what we're going to do over the next couple of sessions, we're going to be talking about lining up off the dots and lining up to bowl over an arrow for our strike shot and our spare shots. We're going to use the middle dot now to line up for our strike line. So Chris lines up with the inside of his left foot over the board, which is the middle dot, feet together, and he's all ready to start his 4-step approach. Thanks, Chris. See you on the lane soon, mate. Okay, now let's talk about the 4-step approach. We know where we're going to start on the approach. Now we just want to talk about how we're going to go through it. The most important part of the 4-step approach is moving the ball and the foot out at the same time. It's called the push away. If we can get that right, the ball's going to arrive at the same time we want it to on our 4th step. So the push away very simply is the ball about waist height. We don't want it too low, we don't want it up in front of our face. nice and even about waist, just a little bit above waist height. We want to use our left hand just to hold a little bit of the weight of the ball. That you can just do that a couple of times just to get the feel. It doesn't drop into the swing. The ball and the foot move out at the same time. Now the next 3 steps are really fluid. We just take our regular walking speed steps and the swing just drops. There's no extra force on the downswing, or we don't pull it through. Let's just swing it all from the shoulder. It helps with our accuracy and also helps with our timing, making sure the ball arrives at the foot at the same time on our 4th step. So the push away, push the ball out, then we just continue on, let the ball swing through. I'll show you how it goes right now. Okay, setting up, ball just above waist height, little weight on my left foot, push away, nice and easy, easy swing. Push out, easy swing. It worked. Okay, let's do a little bit of practice after that one.
Let's practice our 4-step approach. Stand at the centre of the foul line and walk back 4 paces and then add a half step for the slide. Next, look down and notice the dots. If you're right-handed, line up your left foot on the board with the centre dot. By the way, if you're left-handed, everything is pretty much reversed. Hold the ball about waist high, in both hands slightly to the right, with a little more weight on your left foot.
And we want to make sure our shoulders are square to the foul line. We're going to keep our shoulders square throughout the whole of the approach.
Now you're ready for the push. Your right foot and arm move out together. As you walk forward, your arm extends and swings down and back naturally. The arm and the foot come through together and the ball is released round about the ankle and rolls down the lane. You just follow through at the foul line and stay nicely balanced.
You've seen bowlers play the hook shot, but when we're first starting off, we want to learn how to deliver the ball straight up the lane. So when we let go of the ball, we want to have the palm of the hand up towards the ceiling, and that's going to make sure when we finish up, we're going to have our thumb pointing towards the pins. And as we're delivering the ball, we want to keep the wrist as firm as we can through the ball, so we don't flop our wrist out when we let go of it. Keep your wrist nice and firm through the shot. All right, let's practice that on this one. Shoulder square, and you can deliver it right now. Good job.
And that's it for today. Keep up the practice. Balance, push, swing, and roll. We'll leave you to get some practice in. But in our next session, we'll talk about strikes. That's in the next episode of Let's Talk Bowling. See you then.